Do you know there's a secret law of attraction, banned from most dating advice, that instantly flips the script? It's why some people are chased like addicts crave a drug, while others beg for crumbs of attention. And once you activate this, they'll feel it like a withdrawal, an itch they can't scratch until they come running back. But this isn't play hard to get. This is forbidden psychology. The story of Sarah, from ignored to irresistible. Sarah was the kind of woman who always put others first. She was sweet, attentive, and always available. If her crush texted, she replied instantly, often with long, thoughtful messages. If he seemed distant, she'd double text to check in. She believed that showing her interest would make him like her more. But the harder she tried, the colder he became. He'd take hours, sometimes days, to reply. Plans were always his idea, never hers. And when she finally mustered the courage to ask, "What are we?" he gave her the classic non-answer. "I'm just not ready for anything serious." Sarah was crushed. She thought, maybe if I give him more space, maybe if I'm even nicer, but nothing changed. Then one night, she stumbled onto something different. A friend told her about a psychological shift. Not a game, not a trick, but a fundamental law of human desire. She stopped chasing, not in a passive, defeated way, not in a fine, I'll wait way, but in a way that rewired his attraction to her. She stopped initiating, she stopped over-explaining, she stopped feeding his ego with constant validation. And then, something strange happened. He started texting her first. He began asking her out. He even got jealous when she posted a story with friends, something he'd never done before. Within weeks, he was the one asking, "What are we?" Sarah didn't change her looks. She didn't play mind games. She simply tapped into a forbidden rule of attraction, one that most people never discover because it feels counterintuitive. And that's exactly why it works. The problem: why trying harder backfires. Most people believe that more effort equals more attraction. If they're ignored, they double down on attention. If they're taken for granted, they give even more to prove their worth. If someone pulls away, they chase harder, thinking, if I just show them how much I care. But here's the brutal truth. The more you chase, the less they value you. It's not because they're cruel. It's not because you're unworthy. It's because of a deep, hardwired psychological response, one that most people never recognize. When you're always available, you become predictable. When you're always eager, you remove mystery. When you're always giving, you train them to take you for granted. And worst of all, you suppress their natural desire to pursue you. Because desire isn't about logic, it's about instinct. And instinct is triggered by scarcity, uncertainty, and emotional tension. Here's where most advice gets it dead wrong. They tell you, just be confident, but how? Play hard to get, which feels fake. Focus on yourself, and then what? But the real secret isn't about pretending to be uninterested. It's about activating their subconscious fear of loss. Think about it. When something is always there, you stop appreciating it. When something might slip away, you suddenly notice its value. This isn't manipulation, it's human nature. And the most powerful part? You don't have to change who you are. You just have to change how you show up. Why this feels forbidden. This tactic isn't taught in mainstream dating advice because it exploits a psychological blind spot. Most people don't realize why they lose interest in someone who's too available. Once you see it, you can't unsee it, and that knowledge feels dangerous. It goes against good person conditioning. We're taught that loving someone means being there 24/7. But attraction thrives on space, not suffocation. It works too well. When applied correctly, this triggers an almost primal level of pursuit. That's why it's rarely talked about. It's too effective. Now you might be thinking, okay, but how do I do this without playing games? What's the exact step-by-step? How do I know if I'm doing it right? That's exactly what we're breaking down next. Because this isn't about ignoring someone or pretending to be busy. It's about strategically rewiring their attraction. Using a method so subtle, they'll never even realize what's happening. And once you master it, they won't just like you, they'll chase you. But before we dive into the how, let's expose the biggest mistake that ruins this entire strategy. Let me tell you about James. James was the kind of guy who believed if he just proved his worth, she'd finally see how perfect they were together. He planned dates, remembered her favorite coffee order, and always made sure to text good morning. but the more he gave, the less she cared. Then, one day, frustrated and exhausted, he stopped. Not out of strategy, but out of resignation. He didn't ignore her. He just stopped overextending himself. And something bizarre happened. She started reaching out. She began asking him questions. She even joked, "You've been quiet, everything okay?" James didn't understand why, but you will. What no one tells you about attraction. Most dating advice is surface-level manipulation. Wear this cologne. Use these pickup lines. Act confident. But none of that addresses the core truth. Attraction isn't a choice, it's a subconscious reaction. And the quickest way to trigger it, make them feel it, not think it. Here's how. 1. The reverse attention effect. Why less equals more. Imagine holding a cup of water. If I never let go, you'll stop noticing its weight, but if I pull it away suddenly, your hand jerks up to catch it. That's how attention works. When you're always available, your texts become expected, not exciting. Your presence feels guaranteed, not valuable. But when you pull back strategically, their brain notices the absence. They subconsciously seek to fill the gap. This isn't about ignoring them, it's about creating space for their curiosity to grow. Example, when James stopped initiating, her brain itched to know why. Was he losing interest? Was someone else in the picture? That uncertainty forced her to engage. 2. The scarcity trigger. Fear of loss. Hope of gain studies in behavioral psychology show people are more motivated by the fear of losing something than the hope of gaining it. This is called loss aversion, and it's 10x more powerful than positive reinforcement. When you're always there, you're a given. They don't feel the risk of losing you. But when you subtly reintroduce scarcity, they suddenly realize your value. Their brain overcompensates with pursuit. Real-world proof, the Ben Franklin effect. People like you more after doing you a favor. Why? Because their brain justifies, I must care about them if I'm doing this. 3. Intermittent reinforcement, the addictive hook. Ever wondered why gamblers get hooked even when they lose? It's called intermittent reinforcement. When rewards are unpredictable, the brain becomes obsessed with chasing them. Most people make the mistake of being 100% reliable with attention, always replying fast, always saying yes, always being emotionally available. But when you become slightly unpredictable, a delayed reply here, a playful maybe to plans there, a hint of mystery in your tone, their brain lights up like a slot machine. When will I get that dopamine hit again? Note that this isn't about being flaky, it's about not conditioning them to take you for granted. The dark side of this knowledge. Here's why people don't talk about this. It feels wrong. We're taught that love equals constant effort, but attraction thrives on tension. It's too powerful. Used carelessly, this can manipulate emotions, which is why ethical use matters. It exposes a harsh truth. Desire isn't about fairness, it's about subconscious triggers. Now you might be thinking, okay, but how do I apply this without playing games? What's the exact way to pull back without seeming disinterested? That's where most people mess up, and why I'm revealing the 3-step method next. Because this isn't about ignoring someone, it's about making yourself impossible to ignore. But before we get there, there's one critical mistake that destroys this entire strategy. And if you've ever been ghosted or taken for granted, you've probably made it. The Jason effect, how to flip the script in 48 hours. Jason had been stuck in the friend zone for months. His crush would text him, but only when she was bored. She'd laugh at his jokes, but never commit to plans. He was convenient, not irresistible. Then, he tried something different. Not games, not tricks, just 3 psychological shifts, and within 2 days, she was the one asking him out. Here's exactly what he did, and how you can do it too. 1. The strategic withdrawal, how to pull back without ghosting. Mistake most people make. They go from over-pursuing to complete radio silence, which feels manipulative and triggers ego, not attraction. How to do it right. Slow your response time. If you usually reply in minutes, wait a few hours, not days. Don't overcompensate with long excuses. Just respond naturally when you do. Match their energy. If they send short texts, keep yours equal or slightly shorter. If they take hours to reply, do the same. End conversations. First, be the one to say, hey, gotta run, talk later. This subconsciously signals you have options. Why it works. You're not ignoring them. You're rebalancing the effort. Their brain registers the shift as, wait, why aren't they as available? Jason stopped being the last to text. Instead of double texting when she ignored him, he'd wait, and she circled back first. 2. The mystery anchor, the unanswered question that haunts them. Mistake most people make: they over-explain themselves, killing intrigue. I'm just busy with work, but I miss you. How to do it right. Drop a hint, then disappear. Example: post a vague story with friends, no context. Casually mention, had the craziest day, then don't elaborate. Let them fill in the blanks. The human brain hates unresolved patterns. They'll need to know, who were they with? What happened? Never overclock it. If they ask, playfully deflect. Oh, just some wild stuff. Tell you later. Why it works. Mystery equals mental real estate. Now they're thinking about you even when you're not talking. Jason's move. He posted a gym selfie with the caption "Change of plans," no explanation. She immediately DM'd, "What plans?" 3. The re-engagement trigger. How to reappear for maximum chase. Mistake most people make: they return with low-value bids for attention. Did I do something wrong? How to do it right. Re-engage with high-value energy. Example: after a few days, text something light and fun. Saw your post and thought of you. Hope you're surviving out there. Give them the last word. After 1 to 2 exchanges, exit again. All right, back to my chaos. Catch up soon. Let them chase the resolution. Now they're primed to seek more. Why it works. You're not needy, you're unpredictably engaging. Their brain craves closure, so they'll push to keep the conversation going. Jason's win. After 2 days of silence, he texted, "You'd never believe who I ran into today." She replied instantly, and she was the one asking to meet up. The critical mindset shift. This isn't about withholding affection, it's about rewiring their perception of you. Before, you were expected. After, you're desired. The second they sense you don't revolve around them, their instincts scream, "Go get them." What's next? The one rule you can't break. Now here's the danger zone. If you do this without the right foundation, it backfires hard, and chances are, you've already made this mistake without realizing it. Why most people fail. The story of Alex, how this backfired spectacularly. Alex thought he'd cracked the code. After watching videos like this one, he immediately started playing hard to get with his crush. He ignored her texts for days. He canceled plans last minute. He acted cold, distant, like he didn't care. And guess what? She moved on. Not because the psychology was wrong, but because Alex missed the one non-negotiable rule. Here's the brutal truth. This strategy amplifies whatever energy you're already giving off. If you're confident, pulling back makes you mysterious. If you're insecure, pulling back makes you bitter. Alex's fatal flaws? He overcorrected. Went from needy to nuclear, no middle ground. This isn't about punishment, it's about balance. He wasn't actually busy. He sat by his phone waiting for her to cave. True withdrawal means filling your life, not faking it. He still needed her validation. Every cold move was still about her reaction. The second you need this to work, it fails. Why this backfires? Studies on interpersonal attraction show people subconsciously detect intent, not just actions. If you're distant from a place of abundance, it's intriguing. If you're distant from a place of lack, it's transparent. Ever met someone who tries to act cool, but you can feel their desperation? That's the vibe that kills attraction. The fix: how to do this without self-sabotage. Start with self-value. If you're only withdrawing to get a reaction, you've already lost. Would you be fine if they never responded? If not, work on you first. Make it effortless, not forced. Don't schedule delayed replies. Just live your life, then reply when natural. Never use this to punish. Attraction thrives on positivity, not resentment. Key phrase: I'm not ignoring you, I'm prioritizing me. The ultimate truth. This hack isn't a shortcut, it's a mirror. If you need someone to chase you, you're not ready. If you know your worth, they'll feel it without a single trick. Which brings us to the final step. Now I want to hear from you. Comment "chase" below if you've ever had someone suddenly flip the script and start chasing you out of nowhere. I'll reply to your comment with a bonus psychological trick that makes this 10x more powerful. And if you're still watching right now, good, because I'm about to reveal the one thing that makes this hack completely unstoppable. Most people self-sabotage here without even realizing it. But this isn't just some dating tip. This is forbidden psychology, the kind most people will never share with you. So hit subscribe and turn on notifications, because next week, I'm exposing why society doesn't want you to know these secrets. And if you need proof this works, watch this video next. I'll show you exactly how to make someone obsessed using nothing but their own subconscious mind.